I wouldn't need this one.
Yeah.
Really. So. Okay, we're there. So let's start. My name is Sari, Hussein, and I am a senior IT consultant. I'm going to be telling you about project managers without borders, PMWB, and how project management can be provided for the underprivileged. And I have a quote from John F. Kennedy on my title slide. So one person can make a difference, and everyone should try. So the condensed agenda of my talk, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself, and then I'm going to move on and tell you about PMWB and what I do with that organization. And I will close my presentation with telling you how you could get involved with us if you could be interested. So a little bit more about myself. As I said, I am a senior IT consultant. I am with Altron in my third year. As a matter of fact, I would say I have a broad generalist profile, being practiced in software engineering, data science, and also in agile project management. I bring around experience from multiple domains: automotive, public sector, air transport. I have education in software engineering and in secure and dependable computer systems. I hold the credentials from the Project Management Institute, from the Scrum Alliance, and also from Scaled Agile Incorporated. So that's pretty much me. Let's move on and start telling you about PMWB, then Project Managers Without Borders. So PMWB was founded in October 2014. It was really founded by Diana Landers, and Diana Landers is the former director of the Project Management Institute in possibly 6 years in a row. And the goal of establishing PMWB was really to multiply the impact of project management for those in need. Today, PMWB is really the only global non-profit organization that connect project management professionals with other NGOs worldwide. Okay. PMWB is really formed of volunteers, and these volunteers come from around 36 countries, and they do really have a wide range of skills and experiences, not necessarily in project management. And I would say that's how PMWB makes a difference. PMWB makes a difference by bringing together all these people with their distinct cultures, distinct backgrounds, and distinct experiences to actually work together, think together in order to make the world a better place to live in the future.
Well, that's interesting because the most known, I guess, is the Doctors Without Borders, and I guess they are all doctors.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Medical doctor.
Medical doctors. Hey.
So you don't have to be a qualified project manager to be part of this.
No, not
as long as
really.
you can.
Not at all. I will get to that in more details when I talk about how to get involved with PMWB. So no, not really. You don't necessarily need to be a project manager to start contributing to the mission of this organization. Okay, so what does PMWB do? PMWB really provides zero-cost project management service to NGOs all around the globe. Zero-cost project management service to NGOs all around the globe. And this manifests, of course, in doing maturity assessment of projects, in project management coaching, in planning, delivery, monitoring, closure, even training post-project completion. Okay, so this is the service that PMWB offers, zero-cost project management. What are the values then in this service? The values are really plenty, improvement along different lines, I would say: customer satisfaction, quality, risk management, communications, and decision making. I would say the most important of which is really the last item down there in italic. phone. The most important value is to help NGOs to better manage their resources. Any NGO out there, it has scarce resources in time and in people and in money. And for this reason, they really need to be able to manage these resources properly. Otherwise, they would drain out and they would break. They wouldn't be able to actually achieve their goals and mission. So improved management of the scarce resources of NGOs. That's really the paramount value in what PMWB offers. On the other hand, really PMWB, it strives to offer a green style of project management, a green or sustainable, if you will, style of project management. So in addition to balancing the traditional triple constraints of a project, okay, they are time, cost, and scope, PMWB really tries to pay attention to the triple bottom line that you have on the right-hand side there. The triple bottom line is really the environmental factors, for instance, the use of natural resources, the social factors, for instance, the welfare, the unemployment rate, and also the economic factor, for instance, the economic growth of a certain society or a certain group of people. So not just the triple constraints, the traditional triple constraints, but also the triple bottom line. To put it in a different way to you, or maybe even a simpler way, so instead of focusing on value for money, really PMWB tries to focus on value for many, okay? Not value for money of a project, but value for many from actually securing and delivering this project, and not short-term project impact, but also long-term impact of a project on future generations to come. So that's green, that's sustainable, and that's what makes the future better for every human being. Some case studies, or if you want, call them success stories. Case studies of PMWB. PMWB worked with Engineers Without Borders on adding sanitations to schools in Tanzania, and also on improving irrigation for farmers in the Ecuador. PMWB has also worked with IEEE on lightening off-grid communities worldwide. So these are a few of the case studies that PMWB has been involved in with other NGOs. Yeah. Okay, now I move on and I tell you what I do exactly with this organization. So what I do, namely, is to manage the Internet project. I manage the Internet project on behalf of the Internal Communications and Culture Group of PMWB. The goal of having this Internet is to create a digital workplace or digital platform, if you wish, for volunteers all around the globe to actually communicate and collaborate with one another, working on different projects. Let me tell you how it all started. I think that would be interesting. So it started really near the end of last year, 2016, with some statement of work, if you want to call it a statement of work that the PMWB leads put together. And in this statement of work, you could really read a bit about the Internet, its description, characteristics, and the need to having this Internet, and also a brief high-level mission statement. From there, the PMWB leads, of course, went through interviews with certain candidates out there, and eventually a project manager was appointed, and luckily it was myself. And we followed that with a virtual meeting, virtual because everyone is somewhere on the planet, virtual meeting. In that meeting, of course, we discussed the statement of work, we exchanged some information, made decisions, and also evaluated the options that are there to actually have this intranet implemented. And from this, we had the project charter. The Internet Project Charter evolved. And in the project charter, of course, you could read about the purpose of the Internet, deliverables, certain reporting requirement, a listing, of course, of the stakeholders, and also a timeline, or call it milestones, if you so wish. Okay, so now we have the project charter, and here we have the team that has been working on the intranet. So you have Karen, Catalin, myself, Francis, and Adriana. Karen is based in Singapore. Catalin is based in Romania. I am with you guys here in Sweden. Francis is based in the United States, and Adriana is based in Brazil. So it's not really hard to guess that it's quite tough to nail down a virtual meeting time due to, the time zone differences. I will come back to this a bit later on. And not all of them are practiced in project management, of course. So, how did I go about managing this intranet project? So, as I said, we had the intranet project charter, yes. And in that charter, of course, you should have some high-level scope statement of the project. So I picked up that scope statement, and of course, I broke it down into features. Okay, broke it down into features. Maybe I can use. Now you see it. So these big features, and I also had some stretch features. Stretch features are features that are fulfillable if the time permits, basically. And these features were further broken down into stories, and these stories, of course, will swim line in progress, in testing, and in done as well. The work method that we have chosen was Kanban. We can't really afford strict time boxing. We cannot afford a lot of ceremonies, to have a lot of ceremonies or a lot of meetings, if you wish. And the reason is evident. Everyone is volunteering time for this. People are not getting paid. People are volunteering time. We cannot impose a lot of time constraints, time-related constraints. So we had to keep it simple. We had to keep it flexible. And we went with a simple Kanban flow for that reason. And this you see in front of you is our Kanban planning board. And it runs on the famous Trello. And in Trello, you can invite, assign, and subscribe to work items. You can also use color labeling for the work items. As you see, I have done that for the big features, which some people tend to call epics.
Is Trello open source?
Trello, no, it is not. No, it's free with certain restrictions, as a matter of fact. And recently, it got acquired by Atlassian. Atlassian is the very same company that powers Jira. They bought it due to its success.
It looks quite similar.
No.
Yeah. Okay, we try, as you see, as well. We try to limit the sizes of the list. This is extremely important in the Kanban. If you don't limit the sizes of the list, if they grow significantly in size, this may render into a stress factor for the team, and we don't want the team to feel stressed due to the size. So as you see, the lists are limited in size. When it comes to the Kanban meeting, we tend to hold the Kanban meeting not every week, every second week. Again, remember, everyone is volunteering time for the project. We hold it every second week, and the meeting time is really exactly at the lunchtime here in Sweden. By then, it would be late evening in Singapore, and it would be very early morning in Brazil. So everyone will have to give away something, which is fine. If we can create a better future, that's fine. I have to give away my lunchtime, and Karen will have to give away the possibility to get to bed early, whereas Adriana will have to rise up very early in the morning.
Swap around the time so that you sometimes you have suffer in the morning and stuff like that. That's the only time slot that fits.
That's the only
Okay.
time slot.
Right.
There's really very few options there, again, due to the time zone differences. Okay, in addition to the Kanban meeting, of course, we try to keep in touch through common communications tools, be it Skype for Business or Google Hangouts or what have you. Okay, so, we made significant progress, and I would say all are happy, pleased, and proud about what was done. So here is really the landing page of our intranet. We have chosen a simple yet sophisticated intranet engine that is PHP powered. We want it to be straightforward for volunteers to actually learn the syntax of the intranet and use it as quickly as possible in the work on projects. That's why we supply a user guide, as you see there. We want them to make their profile information available for others. and we have a note on that. And we would like them as well to be able to chat and share content as they work with the with their projects. And for that reason, we created a forum, okay, that actually accompanies the internet. This is the volunteers forum, call it. That is associated with the internet. So it went really really good. We're happy and proud about what was accomplished. And it's just not just me, but also the rest of the team and also the leads at PMWB. So how would you get involved? You could be interested, and I hope you are. You could get involved as a donor by donating money. That's one way. Another way to get involved is to partner with us. So if you belong to a certain organization or a department in a certain organization that may have overlapping interests or goals with PMWB or other NGOs, then you may partner with us or even sponsor us if you wish. Another way to get involved is if you have a project idea. If you have an idea about a project that really touches on poverty, that touches on poverty alleviation, that touches on water supply, or touches on housing needs, or even infrastructural needs in any of the developing countries, then you may get in touch with PMWB. Who knows, perhaps PMWB would pick it up with another NGO and put it into execution. So that's one way you contribute as well, if you have a project idea.
How is the selection done? Because of course, like you said, that there are of course developing countries, but we have probably items in also developed countries if you would want to work with something locally. Or is it, do you have any criteria on what kind of projects that you choose to work with?
I think I have mentioned one criterion already. So the project will have to have certain human value. Poverty, it has to touch on poverty. It has to touch on water supply. It has to on infrastructural needs, housing, for instance. Then it matches the project profile that PMWB could be interested in working on, because most likely another NGO will be involved as well. Take for instance, Engineers Without Borders would be involved, and that's an NGO. IEEE would be involved, or Habitat for Humanity would be involved, and all these are NGOs who would like to work with them, on executing these projects to success. So that's basically it. That's what we call really the client profile, if you wish, the client profile. Of course, yet another way to get involved is to volunteer. And at the moment, we have the opportunities right in front of you. We have web designer opportunity, and we have a fundraising coordinator, and also a blog writer. So again, really, guys, not everything would have to do with the project management. And of course, I wouldn't forget to refer you to the official website of PMWB. So it'll be www.pmwb.org. There you can find more information about how you could contribute to our ongoing initiatives. Okay. Would you like to keep in touch with me? I'll be more than glad. This is my LinkedIn and also my PMWB email. This really closes my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. I have really enjoyed it.
I brought Sari here because I know that several of you are really interested in this making the world better thing. Several of you in different areas. So if you have questions, please.
Yes, please.
Sari.
I have one question. Who pays those projects?
Where does the funding come from? If you
Mostly donations, I would say, and through our sponsors. One of our sponsors is IBM itself, as a matter of fact. So yes, donation and sponsors, it comes from there. And most of the projects are acted upon together with other NGOs, and those NGOs have also their fundraisers who get funds as well into these projects.
Do you also get the funds from those NGOs that take you on, they use you or something?
In case we work together with them on a certain project, then of course there would be.
They give up. Okay.
And how you decided you launched this project?
How a project is launched.
Yeah, do you have any criteria to measure?
Yeah, really human criteria. That's really the only criterion I would say, or the most important criterion. It will have to have value for a certain society, certain underprivileged society, or a certain underprivileged group of people. Again, poverty, water supply, electricity supply, etc., etc. Yeah, so it has to give value to us. It has to make life better for a certain group of people.
But you have
It has to have a human value.
Yeah, and you have a target when you start the project also, so you know when you're finished in some sense.
Yes, of course. Yes, definitely.
So
Yeah.
now I guess you're setting up the project like a real project. So
Yes.
I think that was maybe a bit what Grace was wondering, if you have like a criterion to the like start gate or toll gate or to start it or something like that. Maybe you do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, of course, there is a definite start and a definite end. Definitely, it won't go forever, or else it would be some kind of operational work like internet supply or something. Yeah, and of course, this is arranged for together with the NGOs that we work with. Yeah.
I have been in touch with someone she's a project leader in culture. She called it. So sort of cultural. It can be setting up a play or a sort of performance of some kind. And she says sometimes she can go crazy with working with volunteers because they just don't show up someday, or because they have something else. Or is there something you experience at all, or is the dedication higher in this kind of work?
Well, I would say that I have felt dedication within my team, but I wouldn't cancel it completely. I mean, it happens sometimes. In which case, of course, it's really appreciated that the volunteer would let us know. I mean, early ahead, so we can do something about it. Of course, complete the transition phase to another volunteer too. Within my team, we haven't really encountered this.
No, I think it's just a different challenge than what we have.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Yeah. I mean, everything plays a role, of course. How you communicate with the team, and how you encourage the team, how you make them feel value in what they are doing, how you tell them, I'm proud to actually work with you. Everything plays an impact, of course.
You show some projects like, okay, Tanzania's moved us a shit because it's probably more or less very close to the European time zone for you, Sari, but how do you then manage it actually day to day? Because you must have meetings with the local people somehow. You have telephone conferences, or what do you do? I mean,
yeah, well, we have volunteers that are based in Africa, of course.
Right.
We have volunteers that are based in Africa, and who can actually get to the site, visit to the site, and do something, and carry operational work there.
So you're expecting them to carry it with the locals, etc.
Yes.
Do all the stuff there. Okay,
yes,
right.
Yes.
And you don't really have a lot of interaction with the locals, or.
There has to be a certain point of contact, of course. I myself, I don't have direct contact with the locals, as a matter of fact. I'm not entirely informed how this is done within the organization. I'm just guessing that there has to be a certain channel. Or
It's a bit like our market units. We don't talk to we talk to
No,
the
we don't
market
talk to
units. The same thing, you know. Like,
Yeah.
so,
well,
okay.
yes.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Sari.
Sure.
Please send me the presentation, and I can send it to the rest, and then we have your contacts.
Certainly. You will get it from me shortly after the presentation. Right,
Thank you.
I will let you go.
Yes.
With your-
Actually, you're not gonna let
yes,
Sari,
with your
Sari,
agenda.
but, we will let Sari go. If you give me.
Yes.
Right, thank you. Actually, we're moving directly to Thomas.